Sad boys, sad boys.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when your team betrays you?
Cry.
Sad boys, sad boys. Pretty good.
Cry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. We just cry for like an hour.
I'm gonna get into parody songwriting is what I'm gonna do.
Nice.
Can't be hurt by a song. I'm the next Weird Al.
What's your stage name?
Weird Perna.
Original. Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Bryant Perna. And this is GPS. And the S stands for sorrow. It has been, what? It's been like almost three months. How long has it been since we've had a GPS where we both lost? I mean, mostly it's just because my team was losing and your team was winning like 11 straight games. But yeah, how the mighty have fallen. We are sitting here today as both our teams suffering some tough losses. I'm still not over mine from Saturday. The Jaguars kicked your ass, and we're just sitting here sad.
Yeah, my team needed to lose. This was good for my team.
Yeah,
my team's actually benefiting from a loss. So crazy.
Oh man, the copium is that what that's in that cup?
You win 11 in a row. You got to lose one there, Tom. You got to lose one.
You've been saying that for 2 weeks. You just been like, hey, Packers are a tough team. Oh, we won. Jaguars are a tough team. They're due for one.
They are. Oh, I thought they would drop one between the Packers and the Jags. I really did. And
they did.
It is not fun. It's not fun to. Yeah, it's so weird how you adjust to just winning every week, and then you gotta relearn. You gotta relearn what humble pie tastes like, and it does not taste good. It tastes like crap. So, they're playing this great timing, NFL Network. They're playing the highlights of the Jags Broncos right now.
I mean, the somewhat good news, right, is that the Broncos have a quick turnaround, right? And you may be the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I could be backing up Chris Oladugan.
I think you could do it.
Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, those games on Thursday are just looking worse, and where I feel so bad for Gardner Minshew, man, because as of course we're big fans of Gardner Minshew here on the show, and dude,
even though he signed with the Devils,
he signed with the Devil, yep, but yeah, freaking ACL injury early in that game, freaking back-to-back for Kansas City, Mahomes last week, Minshew this week, and it just seems like every Christmas game is going to be awful. So the Grinch is hosting this year.
Ooh.
And no one's getting anything except poo. You care, a whole lot of poo. That's what they're getting. Yeah. So can you kind of walk me through what happened yesterday? So I was able to go back and watch that game. But dude, Trevor Lawrence, we've been talking about him on this show for a bit, but just these last few weeks, he has played incredible football. And the turnaround that offense has done, and I think one of the big reasons why, they make that trade for Jacoby Myers, because they're having wide receiver issues. Travis Hunter is on IR. And then Brian Thomas Jr. can't catch the ball for a good part of the season. They bring in Jacoby Myers. He's their leading receiver for a good chunk of weeks. And it really feels like that offense is starting to click. That's what now 3 or 4 weeks in a row that he has not thrown an interception. And
it's 4. It's 4 weeks in a row for Trevor Lawrence after throwing 3 against the Cardinals.
Yep.
4 weeks in a row. He's got 12 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions in that stretch, a passer rating over 100 in all of those games. And as as soon as the receivers stopped dropping passes and Lawrence stopped making mistakes, the Jags have turned into a
Powerhouse.
top flight team. They're as good of a team as you'll face at the moment. And what Jacoby Myers did for their offense is, and it's crazy because Brian Thomas Jr. wasn't even like a big factor in this game.
Yeah.
And neither was Jacoby Myers, really. But like through that stretch, Myers has been catching passes in the middle of the football field, the area where Brian Thomas really didn't want to do it. So that is what propelled the Jags. And then in this game, it was a coming out party for Parker Washington.
Yes.
He had over 140 receiving yards. His touchdown grab was a little ridiculous. He broke several tackles. He embarrassed the Broncos defense. He made the Broncos defense look like one of the worst defenses in the league in terms of tackling. And then they're tied in. Brenton Strange had a nice game, made a handful of key grabs. So the Jags on offense, they just outplayed Denver's defense. Denver couldn't get a stop in any key situation until late in the fourth quarter. They got some stops. And at that point, even though the Broncos offense was moving the ball, they kept either stalling or making a mistake. And then Sean Payton, we're down. The Broncos are down 3 scores. And they get to like the 2 or 3 yard line. And Emmanuel Ogbah tips a pass at the goal line that I think saves a touchdown. And then it's 4th and 2 or 3 from the goal. And at that point, Sean Payton's like, well, we need a field goal. So he just kicks a field goal there instead of going for a touchdown. And I get it because you need the field goal.
Sure.
To me, that just felt like the kind of call that was a losing call. It's like, yeah, we need 3 scores. We're 3 yards away from the end zone. I don't trust our offense to get into the end zone, so we're going to kick it here. So that's, and there were a lot of points where I was like, I think this game's getting away from Denver, but that was the one I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And it's like little things, like Bo Nix stepped out of bounds on a throwaway pass late in the fourth quarter. So he throws the ball away, but he stepped out first, so he takes a 9-yard loss. We're on 4th and 2, and they throw an interception there. The play before, they threw an incomplete pass, should have ran the ball, but like, yeah, they just got outplayed. And there's no one thing to point at for Denver right now, which is a little scary because you're like, what? We got a lot to fix if you look at just this game. Will Lutz misses a kick.
Sure.
Marvin Mims, who has provided like some returns, we couldn't get a spark play. And I don't know if I'm concerned yet because we'll get KC on a short week. We're getting their 3rd string quarterback. I think Denver's going to look good on Christmas.
I would hope so.
It all boils down to this Chargers game, week 18. And the Chargers, the way they handled Dallas, they're a little scary too.
Dude, didn't even allow a sack on Justin Herbert, which bless you. You didn't even block it. Now it's just everywhere. Now there's just boogers and snot. Ugh. It's all over the place. But yeah, I mean, you have a good point. And with the Patriots having that comeback win last night, now it's just like, okay, like that race for the 1 seed in the AFC is still ongoing.
Yeah.
So,
and if Denver would have fallen from the 1 seed, I'm sure this loss would have stung a lot more.
Sure.
But they still control their destiny. The thing I thought was funny is earlier in the week, Sean Payton, in his Sean Payton ways, he called Jacksonville a small market team, and they are a small market team, and he did so in the midst of complimenting Jacksonville. He was talking about how well they're playing football, right? He's like, This is a very good team. And he's basically saying what everybody else has said, but he just does it in a Sean Payton way that I think annoys people. But all week, everybody's like, nobody's talking about the Jags. Nobody's talking about the Jags, and they're very good. That's what Sean Payton said. Nobody's really talking about this team, but they're playing really good football. They can come in here and they can beat us. For whatever reason, the Jags use that as their bulletin board material, even though it was a compliment. And after the game, Liam Cohen dropped a small market team, beat the Broncos. And it turned into this whole thing that I think was just misinterpreted. But it is. NFL teams will use anything they can to give themselves an advantage. And a great thing for a team is to feel like an underdog. And the Jags have felt that way. So that kind of blew up in his face, even though that's probably like the one thing that shouldn't have blown up in his face ever. And I unfortunately didn't see the Jags locker room celebration before I made my recap last night, because they went into their locker room and some of their players had belts and they were just smacking the ground, giving us a visual of the belt to ass they just gave us. And I was like, God damn it. God dang it.
That's another part that is kind of like going under the radar too, is the Jaguars defense, right? Because the defense is also making some strides. Yeah. And again, you go from earlier on in this season, we're talking about Trevor Lawrence of like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, he's just really not looking good. The defense that time was not looking good. And it's just a good shout out to Liam Cohen, man, because his name has been floating around there for Coach of the Year. I think his name definitely deserves to be up there. But I said this in predictions because I picked the Broncos to win, because as the Packers found out, it is tough to go into Denver and win against that defense. And for them to go in and win in that way, I think a lot of people are going to be taking Jacksonville seriously after this week.
Yeah, and they should have been taking them serious already, but
I'm behind power rankings.
Rock,
what a fitty.
The Broncos defense gives up 34 to the Jags. They gave up 26 to the Packers. They're fine against the Raiders, 17 points, and 26 to the Commanders. So in the last 4 games, I'd say 3 of those games, the defense was not good.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's the reason, but that has coincided with Pat Surtain's return to the defense after injury.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what Vance Joseph and the defense was doing with Pat out, like how they might have been calling their defense schematically to make up for the loss of your best defensive player. But like something hasn't been right in the last month for the defense, really, compared to the first
where they were
11 games of the season or whatever. So hopefully they figure that shit out. Hopefully.
Brock wants to experience 2 things in his lifetime. The Bears win at least 1 Super Bowl. No, thank you. Packers fans experience Bears level pain. Well, if you go back to the 70s and 80s, the Packers definitely experienced a whole lot of pain because they weren't winning diddly squat. So, yeah, I mean, I wasn't alive, so, that worked out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, Saturday, that game was painful. You still got to
My team got outplayed. Your team just got wrecked in the final few minutes.
5 minutes, we're up by 10. And that was like Sean Payton said, that was very reminiscent of a couple of games that the Packers have played. Whether you want to look at this season and you want to look at the Cleveland Browns game where they kind of just choked it away at the very end and like everything went wrong. Whether, of course, you want to make some great parallels to the NFC Championship game against the Seahawks, because this was only the 5th time that an onside kick has been successfully recovered this season. And of course, it's against the Packers. But Jordan Love, dude.
5 this season?
There's only been 5 this season, yeah.
That seems like a lot to me.
Been 5. That was the 5th. Jordan Love getting knocked out of that game. So he goes out very early in that game with a concussion. Malik Willis steps up, and Malik Willis had a hell of a game, dude. And this is why we love having Malik Willis on the team, because it opens up the run game. The Packers had nearly 200 yards of rushing, and it was like, oh, damn. Okay. Like this team might be able to get it done. Malik Willis gets banged up at the end of that game too. But it just, it was a plethora of errors as the Packers had a 99% chance to win that football game at a point. And it's little things, right? So go back into the first quarter, the first drive. They march down the field. They go for it on 4th down. Incomplete, turnover on downs. Could have settled for a field goal. Who knows what happens there? But then Matt LaFleur gets ragged on for not being aggressive enough. Fine. Bears do the same thing. They march down, 4th down. It's a high snap, turnover on downs. The defense shut them out. in the first half. And even though like they weren't getting after Caleb Williams in terms of actually sacking him because they had no sacks on the day, this happened last time too, as Evan Williams was the only guy who got a sack on him. But the pressure rate was pretty darn good. They shut him out in the first half, and then it just started falling apart, and it's bit by bit. Josh Jacobs fumbles within the 5-yard line, so that turns the ball over. Romeo Doubs, of course, who had a great game. He doesn't hold on to the football on the onside kick. You have the Bears dead to rights on the drive that they would kick a field goal on to make it a 1-score game. It's 3rd and 20. You finally sack him. It's going to be 4th and 26. They're back on their own side of the field. You have a face mask that brings it back. And so it's just these, and then even in overtime, dude, they're marching down the field. It's 4th down. They go for it. And Malik Willis fumbles the snap. So it's kind of just like everything going wrong. Our starting quarterback was out, so that's also a thing. And the Packers just with 5 minutes left to go, let that game completely blow up in their face.
Yeah, that Josh Jacobs fumble was probably the killer, and that was Nashawn Wright, right, ripping it out there.
Yeah, and it was a good play, and it's Josh Jacobs. We didn't even know if he was going to play on Saturday because Jacobs was banged up going to that game. And obviously the Bears didn't have Romo Dunze again because he wasn't there the last time, or Luther Burden. But you got to give a lot of credit to Caleb Williams, man. Like I said, that offense couldn't really do much in that first half. But even though the Packers, I think it was, hold on, I have it written down here, 47.4% was our pressure rate, and he had 2 touchdowns under pressure. He was balling out, and that last throw to DJ Moore was disgusting. Like that was just that was a great throw and catch.
It's going to be one of the throws of the season. It will be played on every 2025 NFL highlight recap video there is. And it's a throw in a clutch situation in crappy weather. It was cold, it was windy, and it's just an absolute dime to DJ Moore, who made an equally impressive catch, in my opinion, in the end zone. He was very well covered, if not pass interfered with, honestly. And he makes the catch there. So that was a very improbable win for the Bears, but that's just how they're winning football games.
Yeah,
they've done it like 8 times this year.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to now hope, because Jordan Love is in concussion protocol. They got to play on Saturday night, so got to hope that he gets out of concussion protocol. And Malik Willis also has a shoulder injury, so we don't have a QB3. So hopefully things get better quickly.
Yeah, and honestly, like the thing about the concussion protocols is, if the Packers take it seriously, he's not going to be out of it. No concussion heals in 7 days. No. So that's one of those things. Every now and then players get cleared from concussion protocol in a week. But he will be at a much higher risk to get another one if he plays on Saturday. And that's a tough thing to try and balance out for week 16 in a 2-game stretch where Green Bay needs to win both.
They don't have to now because because the Lions lost yesterday, Packers win 1, and so now they have like a 94% chance of winning. So here's the thing. They're going up against the Ravens, who Lamar Jackson has a back injury because he got hurt last night. So who the hell knows what that's going to happen? Yeah, the Packers, that was the case. If the Packers want to win the division, the Bears have to lose their last 2 games. They're going against the 49ers on Sunday Night Football, and then they got the Lions in Week 18.
Wow.
But Lions could be eliminated by that point. Lions, technically, the Packers could make the playoffs before they even step foot on the field on Saturday, because if the Vikings beat the Lions, that's it.
They play Saturday too, Vikings. Oh, no, they play on Christmas.
They play on Christmas.
Dude, and the Vikings defense right now is playing pretty good football.
But J.J. McCarthy just got hurt. He's got a hand injury.
Yes.
So
I don't know if that moves the needle for me, but
who knows?
Who knows?
But this is, I think we can all agree that if the Bears win, right, and they win the division and they finish as the 2 seed, and the Packers settle in at the 7 seed, we're going to get a rematch wild card weekend. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate we can't get a Packers-Cowboys playoff game. That would have been fun.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah. I know. I do have more integrity than Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman hates Jordan Love, so I agree with that.
Everybody's been saying that about me, specifically compared to Sherm, for a long time.
Oh, serious note, Pat Bryant. Holy God, man. So last time I saw, like, he was moving his hands and his legs. Was there anything after
It was
that?
a concussion. It was a precautionary thing. So he's just in concussion protocol now. So scary situation at the end of the game. Also another dumb situation by Sean Payton. And Will and I, we wrote about this like a week or two ago, but Sean's been making some questionable end of or fourth quarter decisions. And I think having the Broncos with no chance to win the game, there's less than a minute left. They're backed up to their own 1 yard line, and he's got Bo Nix and the offense out there throwing it around.
Yeah.
And it just like, we know you're not going to win. And I get it. This season, you don't want to see your team basically give up, right? But he put Pat Bryant in a bad situation there. Bo Nix threw a bad football to Pat Bryant, and Bryant just got lit up. He got lit the fuck up. And in a meaningless play at the end of the game, carted off the field on a stretcher, taken to the hospital. It was just a concussion. But the crazy thing, Tom, is like they threw a flag there and then they picked it up.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think that the hit was a legal hit. But they had thrown 3 other roughing or unnecessary roughness penalties in that game that were less egregious than that one, and they all stood. And I said, out of principle, you got to just let that flag stand. If you see a man go on a stretcher, I don't care if it's a legal hit or not, flag fucking stands out of respect for that man. Especially because it was like a flag wouldn't have changed anything, but like it was just weird thing to see.
Inconsistency from the refs this week? I don't know if I believe that. I don't know.
Yeah, Liam Cohen's good. He's a good head coach. And
Duval.
He outcoached Vance Joseph and Sean Payton, in my humble and correct opinion.
How far we've come. Dude, yeah, I want to talk about a few individual games. That Chiefs game, besides Gardner Minshew, obviously hurting his ACL early on in that game, that was kind of some of the sentiments from Chiefs fans of, oh God, we didn't realize how much Patrick Mahomes was holding this team together this year. Because I know you got your third string quarterback out there, right? So that's not, but they looked awful. They just did not look good at all.
Yeah. They're down a handful of starters, to be fair.
Correct.
But yeah, no shit.
It was not great. I mean, the Titans win, which, yay, I think, maybe, I don't know. I mean, the Giants are holding on to that number 1 overall pick, and I don't think they're letting it go. But we do have the true tank bowl this upcoming week, as it's Giants and Raiders. That is going to be a game of...
Yeah, I don't think the Titans need the number 1 overall pick. They're going to get a great player.
You just need lots of picks.
Regardless where they're drafting. Mm-hmm. They need a head coach is what they need. They need probably a different owner. But yeah, it was the Tennessee Titans are better than an injured Kansas City Chiefs football team. Yes, Cam Ward played well. Jeffrey Simmons got a safety. Yeah, and I think if you're a Tennessee fan, you go, okay, there's a little something here.
Yeah, but there has been a little something because Cam Ward, man, like he has been like the one staple over the past few, this whole season. Because it's every time, even though he's sacked like 1,000 times, it's like, you know what? Maybe there's something there. And again, this is now 3 weeks in a row. Tony Pollard. They look like a functional running team. Like they actually have a little bit of balance. Don't look now, but who knows? Maybe some things to build upon in the offseason.
Mike McCoy.
Hey, speaking of someone who's putting it together a few weeks in a row, I know it's against the Jets, but Tyler Shuck. Oh, they saying shuck those draft picks, baby, because they are winning football games. If you're a Saints fan, you got to be freaking excited, man. I mean, considering where this season has taken you into the depths of hell, and considering that Shuck looks like he is the guy, he's fun to watch too. That's been a nice development at the end of the season.
Yeah, Saints got 5 wins now. They have won 3 in a row, defeating the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and the Jets. Big day from Chris Olave. He had a couple touchdown grabs.
Yep.
Taysom Hill threw a touchdown pass. So, yeah. Go ahead, New Orleans. Enter the offseason with optimism.
Hope, and optimism. Rising with a hundo.
Boom.
Huge fan, Tom, please do me one favor. Say, bear down in the playoffs because we are going to defeat them in the rubber match. You still haven't beaten Jordan Love playing a full game. You still haven't. You still haven't. We'll see you. We'll see you in January. But
It felt like a Scooter Magruder impression right there.
That was great game. Yeah, but my team could actually make the playoffs.
You can make the playoffs. Yes. Well,
I don't know what we'll do from there, but we could. There's gotta win another game, and or the Lions gotta lose. I don't know.
Johnny John
But no, Caleb Williams played his ass off, man. He deserves a lot of credit. And Ben Johnson, man, he has been that guy. He has been that guy all season. You want to talk about culture shift?
As good as advertised, if not better.
Lions be missing him right now.
Yeah, when you see Detroit get held to 15 rushing yards in a game, like that's insane. First off, that's just insane. A weird game between Pittsburgh and Detroit. You know, both teams really needed to win that game.
Yep.
And credit the Steelers for actually winning that game. Kenneth Gainwell, one of the weirder touchdown receptions we've ever seen. And somehow it still wasn't as weird as the end of the game between Detroit and Pittsburgh, where
however
there were two offensive pass interference calls at the end of this game.
Yeah, the first one I thought was BS. The second one, I see why they threw the flag. I mean, the one at the very end with St. Brown, that one I understood. But it was the ref coming out and being like, it is a touchdown. However, you guys lose.
Yeah.
Gut punch.
The Tesla one, that was a PI for what it's that rub route pick play.
Yeah.
And I feel like you see that called just in the worst moments for teams. Yep. Like it's a play a lot of teams get away with. So Amon-Ra catches what could have been a game-winning touchdown, taken back, and it backs up the Lions with almost, with the time winding down. They get up to the goal line. They've got, I think, like 15 seconds left. Desperation mode. Goff throws to Amon-Ra, who pushed off. He pushed off pretty good, like you just said. And the Steelers stuff him, and he pitches it back to Goff, which I think the play wouldn't have counted. Like, I think his progress had been stopped. But then Goff, dives into the end zone, and you see the flags everywhere, and you want that play to stand because it's just an awesome play, but the whole time it's not going to fucking count. And then the referee just trying to make the call is stumbling over what the stupid rule is. He's like, there's the touchdown for the Lions, pass interference on the offense. The game is over. There was no touchdown.
It's a touchdown. However,
therefore he was not. So
and the Lions
that was
crowd,
as crazy as DK Metcalf taking a swing at a fan. This game had everything. It had everything.
It did. Yeah, weird stuff. I mean, because you mentioned the crowd is going nuts because they're like, it is a touchdown. However, and then it's and the game is also over too. Yeah. So it went oh man, oh. So now the Lions, they have to win out in order to have a shot. They got the Vikings this week. They got the Bears next week. Yeah. And for Aaron Rodgers, they've now won 4 games in a row, the Steelers.
Yeah. So, and the Steelers, they had a big performance from Kenneth Gainwell and Jaylen Warren. I think they're combined for 250 or 70 yards of the Steelers offense. Jaylen Warren had 143 rushing yards.
230 total rushing yards.
Was their leading receiver, right? And they got production from both of their running backs. Aaron Rodgers was incredible on 3rd and 4th down. He converted 3 3rd and 10s in a row to, I think, score that that late touchdown. I forget exactly what point, but 3 third downs in a row that were 10 plus yards. So if you're a Steelers fan, you look at this win and go, yeah, we did a lot well. Sure, you have some of that success against a very questionable Lions defense. But my question to you, Tom, is about the DK Metcalf punch or attempted punch at a fan. I don't know if he landed or connected. So we got 2 things happening now.
Yeah.
And there's a second angle of DK taking a shot at the fan, and you see DK go up and grab him and pull him down and then try to hit him. Second angle makes it look worse. Now, there's some reporting after the fan said that he called DK by his full name. His full name. That's what he called DK, and that's what made him mad. I'm not going to say DK Metcalf's full name because if that makes DK that angry, I do not want him coming for me.
He's going to burst through the wall.
If you've seen DK Metcalf, he is a beast.
He's
and now that seems like a weird thing to get that upset about.
Yeah.
Which, so you're like, that's crazy. Now, Chad Johnson on the Shannon Sharp podcast last night said that he talked to DK and DK told him that the fan called him the C word and the N word. So
I think it was his
called his mom the C word.
Yes.
Which would be a crazy thing to yell at a football player.
Correct.
Around a bunch of other people. And I feel like the only way this is only going to be confirmed by some of the fans that were around that guy.
Sure.
And I don't know if the NFL is going to get to the bottom of this. But if the fan said that shit, then he deserves to be punched. I think we all agree. You use a racial slur and go after the guy's mom in the same sentence.
Tough look, yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Punch in the face.
Also, you're like, if I'm going to justify throwing a swing at a fan, I'm going to say this guy said the most fucked up things he could say to me.
Also fair.
So I don't know what to believe here, and I don't know if we're going to get an answer.
Yeah.
But it's one of the craziest things you'll see. I was like, holy God, you can't do that, DK.
And so now, because they were asked about it, and New York was like, we can't do anything because nothing happened on the field of play. So, like, we can't eject them from the game or anything. Yeah. So
they can only do it if the flag's thrown.
Yeah. So now what it's going to be is, okay, maybe he's going to get a fine, potentially suspended. Who knows what's going to happen off the field if that fan is going to, press charge, whatever the hell that's going to look like. But yeah, it was a weird ass game, and we'll see, man, because the Steelers, while they're ahead, and the Ravens are kind of like they got their back against the wall, they still need to win some of these games. Yeah. So losing DK would be a little bit of a problem. So
I would have agreed with this had I not been at a football. Had I not been at a football game before, an NFL game where I heard a man yelling that word. For no reason. I remember this. I was in my 20s, and I'm like, you know what? One day, if I ever have kids, bringing them to an NFL game is not an environment I really want them in. If we've got some drunk asshole yelling racist shit I think the guy got kicked out of the game,
sure.
But I wouldn't put it past anybody because I've been there and I've seen people saying the craziest shit you'll hear around other people in a situation where everybody's like, shut up. Well, what are you doing? But enough beer and enough whatever you got in your brain. I'm not going to say he didn't say it until we get some confirmation.
You got beer in your brain.
Duval.
You got beer, and I think you've got some psychological trauma you have not dealt with.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a smidge. So we'll see, though. I mean, I'm sure because it's like you said, there's going to be witnesses, right, who are going to be able to corroborate either what DK said or
he's going to be suspended no matter what. So
he's at least getting a fine, at least.
They're going you can't the NFL's not going to care what the guy said. You take a swing at a fan, that's one of those lines the NFL is not going to let a player cross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if the fan deserved it.
River, Titans winning 2 out of 3. Again, it was against the banged up Chiefs team, but I feel like you just need a bunch of pieces. Like the O-line needs to get better. You need another wide receiver, but they might have an opportunity. Maybe they could trade down and they can get a whole bunch of picks, or they just get a really good premium player there. But they're also going to be able to go shopping in free agency.
If the fan did say that, if he did say it, the solution's pretty easy. You go to Netflix, you say, all right, how about we cap your Christmas doubleheader with a boxing match between DK Metcalf and this fan? All your Jake Paul stuff did well. So we're going to let those two battle it out the proper way in a boxing match. Great for ratings. DK gets his vengeance if it is justified, and we all get entertained. I think that's the way to go.
I think the Rams choking is the reason they lost that game. But yes,
if I'm not commissioner one day, then the NFL has failed. That's what I'm going to say right now.
Are you just going to be heavily favoring the Broncos?
I'm going to be the first NFL commissioner who is also the top musical parody artist in the world.
I believe in you, buddy.
Weird Al Perna.
They could do that.
The greatest NFL commissioner there ever was. All right. So Steelers key win. There was so many. We had the most games this week that just didn't matter.
Dude, tonight's game is insane because if the 49ers wind up winning, and someone was saying before, it puts 3 teams in the playoffs because in the AFC, there's only 2 teams who have clinched a playoff spot. It's the Broncos and it's the Patriots after that win last night. Over in the NFC, there's only 1 wild card spot left, and you got to figure out what the hell is going on with the NFC South, which, speaking of, you have the Buccaneers losing to the Panthers 23-20. And Bryce Young, another good performance. Put together another one. And this was a win that they needed to have. And this feels, I know the Todd Bowles midseason collapse has been a special over the past few years, but oh boy, is it hitting extra hard this season. And there was a Buccaneers fan asking yesterday, and the silver lining is that if the Buccaneers miss the playoffs, I know you have a lot of injuries, and this season has not been but I feel like that's going to be the tipping point. He's got to go because at some point, you got to see a different result. And they had it.
I mean, they're getting out coached. I did that video a week or two ago about how he mismanaged the end of that game. But I think you got to credit Carolina for showing up, playing well when it mattered to close out that game. And what we watched early in the season with Baker and the Bucs is they win all those close games, and it looked like Baker might start to get them going. He had that long run on their final drive where they were going to need to score. And then, the Panthers held. And did we both pick the Panthers?
Yes.
I think it was just kind of the Panthers are playing just better overall football, even though we think there's more talent for the Bucs to work with. But Teterow and McMillan had a nice game.
They are winning in a very predictable way. They win, then they lose. They win, then they lose. And that just keeps on going on. So they'll lose this week, but then they're going to knock off the Buccaneers week 18 because that's just how it is. That's it. So I don't think we're going to, I don't think we could possibly be even more cursed than we already are.
And I really thought Carolina would need a big game from Rico or Chuba Hubbard to get this win.
They got over 100 yards rushing by just giving it to 4 different guys, and they got 20-ish yards each.
Yeah, and Jimmy Horn had one run for 25 yards, but I would have if you say how does Carolina win? Probably a 100-yard game from Chuba Hubbard or Rico Dowdle. Sure. But I think McMillan was the big difference for the Panthers. And at 8-7, I hope Carolina wins the next 2 games because, like, I want whatever team gets in from the South to feel like they should be there. You know?
You know what, though, dude? Their next game is against Seattle. And, like, that...
Beat
who
them.
knows?
Beat them,
Who knows?
Carolina. Seattle's Seattle's good.
Hey, babe, it's a great question. I actually was talking about this last night. I think that they'll institute another bye or they'll configure the buys differently once they add more weeks. So, because that's what the NFL wants. They want more football. They want to add at least another week. So maybe then they do something. Just because, especially with all these injuries, man. And I don't know if it's more injuries this year or it's just big time players late that are getting a whole bunch of injuries that it's like, damn, okay, this is really starting to stand out because it's impacting the playoffs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
and it's hard to say that a second bye week is actually going to help injuries.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
like, I don't
be healthy. Taking away
I don't foresee adding one more game to the season and it resulting in less injuries, even if they do 2 bye weeks.
But player safety, Brandon. Player safety.
Yeah, player safety.
Is that true? Oh yeah, the Buccaneers have 7 wins. The Saints could be if the Saints get second place, Todd Bowles is fired immediately. Immediately. Before the game even ends.
Yeah.
They tell him don't even come back at halftime.
We already have won too many games. That is for sure.
That's agreed. It's true. We do. Cincinnati, they woke up. Yes, it was against the Dolphins, but 45-21. Holy cow. I thought that Cincinnati would win this game, but I was like, all right, maybe it'll be, a little bit close. But I will say, besides the 2 interceptions, Quinn Ewers didn't look the worst. I know it's 2 interceptions. It's not great, but he's trying.
The Dolphins have done this weird thing where they played one half of respectable football the last 2 weeks and then just completely had a implosion in the second half. The Bengals scored 21 points in the third quarter.
Yes.
4 touchdown passes for Burrow, shredded them. But the Dolphins are a very good first half team at the moment.
Yeah. Because I think delete is more, I'm just saying what people are saying. It's more like the Rams choked it away. That is, but no, Seattle deserves credit for that win. You leave an opening. They were able to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Especially Sam Darnold, man. They were to battle back. We talked about this on Friday, but yeah, who cares, man? They're in the playoffs. And again, 49ers could still get that 1 seed in the NFC. It's still possible. But yeah, Joe Burrow, 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards also. He absolutely crushed it. The game I want, and you mentioned it before, and perfect timing here, Neil. I do want to talk about that Chargers game. When's the last time, I want to look this up. When's the last time Justin Herbert didn't get sacked this season?
He's been sacked every game this season.
Has it been?
Yeah. No, I looked that up last night. He's sacked every game. I believe he's the 3rd most sacked quarterback in the NFL behind Geno Smith and Cam Ward. I believe he's the most hit quarterback in the NFL this season. And the Cowboys didn't touch him fucking once. And the Chargers were also without Trey Pipkins, their backup tackle. So, they're down 3 tackles technically, and they've been running some combos of guys out there and putting extra guys on the field. But to see the Cowboys at this juncture, after their you can actually scheme up pressure quote.
That's what I was wondering. Why didn't they just scheme up pressure, Brandon?
It's so funny. And Herbert looked very good. 300 passing yards. Quentin Johnston, over 100 yards in this game, played really well. Lad McConkey got a score. And I think this is kind of the offense we thought we'd see from the Chargers before they lost both of their tackles. And it feels like it's been a month since we haven't watched a game, or since we've watched a game where Herbert just wasn't getting assaulted the entire game. And you're just impressed because he survived the beating and the Chargers figured out a way to win. They just beat the Cowboys, start to finish.
Yeah.
So,
and they've won their last 6 of 7 now because they lost to the Jaguars. But
yeah, the Jags swept the AFC West. So
look at the freaking Jaguars, man. Dialogues. I am not going to be the person that told Jeffrey Simmons that he didn't report as eligible. So yes, and I think that should have been fine.
Yeah,
give me big man TDs. Come on.
Was that from last week?
Jeffrey Simmons deserves a because they had the Titans had that one touchdown that was negated. Hold on one second. Forget what quarter that was in. Trying to find that here because they would have won by because Titans fans are like we should have won by more. Which fair.
Did he have a touchdown taken away in this game?
Yeah, there was a touchdown taken away. Hold on one second. I forget where that was. Oh my God. I can't find where this was. Hold on. Okay.
Because he had a touchdown last week. A touchdown or a 2-point conversion. I can't remember, but he caught one in the back of the end zone.
Yes. Yeah, no, the one that was this week was they called it back.
Oh, because he didn't report as eligible? Is that what they're saying?
No, because Simmons, the thing was last week. I'm trying to find the exact play. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I'll find it. Sorry. Is it overly important? No, but it's okay.
Now we're curious.
And now I'm just curious.
Now
it was a legal formation. Oh no, that was illegal formation. No, I'm sorry. Maybe yes, I think that was what it was. Yeah, Pollard appeared to punch the ball in from the 1 yard line. Illegal formation wiped out the touchdown, and another run was negated. So Simmons was last week.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, I just X'd all this out when I did not want to do that. But yeah, you talk about the Chargers. I'm very curious how they're going to play Denver week 18. I'm very curious because for me, like the Chargers season, I'm very impressed with how they've been able to adapt to not having their starting tackles. I really wish I could see a fully healthy Chargers team because then I think we're talking them as like one of the powerhouses of the AFC right now. But who knows, man? I've been saying it as we get closer and closer to the postseason. I think a lot of these teams can win 2 or 3 games in the playoffs.
Right now in the AFC, I think I can see the Broncos winning out. I can see the Patriots winning out. I can see the Jags winning out. I can see the Chargers winning out. I can see the Bills winning out. Like there's 5 teams. I could put the Texans in there too. They struggled against the Raiders to get it done, but they got it done. I think this was the last ditch effort from the Raiders this season. But all those teams have figured out how to win tough games, to grind out games.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the difference between the Jaguars and the Chargers right now is the Jags are healthy.
Yeah.
And that's why you would probably give them the edge. But the Chargers are like, if the Broncos have to win that game against LA week 18 to like secure, the 1 seed or whatever, I don't feel good about it. They're a hard team to kill. So we'll see. All these teams are gritty.
Speaking of, because there are not a lot of silver linings for the Raiders. Ashton Genty, man. He looked good.
Finally.
So, gotta give him that because, it was a close game, 23-21. But yeah, Genty had 2 big touchdowns, right? Like one was a receiving one and one was a rushing touchdown.
I didn't see shit from that game.
Yeah, he had Bowers scored, 60-yard pass and then a 51-yard rush. So that's nice. Get an offensive line. Maybe that could happen a little bit more often. So it was the same fan. That's true. That'd be crazy.
The same fan to what?
That was a douche to DK. That would be pretty crazy if it was the same fan. Is that true?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That would add a wrinkle to things, I would say. The Eagles, they won the NFC East. That was kind of they were able to easily win that game. Saquon had over 100 yards. We didn't talk about it on Saturday. Buffalo, Cleveland started to put up a bit of fight. Josh Allen got banged up in that game. He's going to be okay, thankfully. That is true. But James Cook, man, just another freaking great game. And it feels like the Browns defense has looked less scary over the last few. I know because Garrett got his half a sack, right, as Josh Allen's running away towards the end zone. So he's like, 1 sack away now from actually beating the record. I'm sure that they're going to get it within the next couple of games. But not the prettiest of games. Bills still get a win. Unfortunately,
that's the saddest half sack credit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Garrett ever touched Josh Allen.
1 second.
It was also a terrible scramble by Josh Allen.
Oh, God. He just ran backwards.
He was lucky that wasn't a safety.
Correct.
Yeah, this game was James Cook had 100 rushing yards in the first half and then 17 in the second half. I don't know what the Bills were thinking in the second half there. But Cleveland looks a little more competitive with Shedeuer. One of his interceptions was just a wild play by Joey Bosa, batting the ball at the line, and I think it was Daquan Jones got the pick there. But you've seen some flashes from Shedeuer, and Harold Fannin set a rookie receiving record for the Browns with his 67th reception. So oddly, even though they're bad, there's some things for the Browns you should be hopeful for. Buffalo, they survived this game.
Yeah.
They kind of been doing that a lot. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Judkins' injury sucks. He broke his leg and dislocated his ankle. They said that he should be good to go by week 1 of the season, but he's been having a nice rookie year. I've liked watching Judkins. He was cool. I drafted him in a bunch of fantasy leagues too.
Yeah, I think because the Bills had Keon Coleman as a healthy inactive again, third time. That they got to figure that shit out.
Dude, that's ugly. Like, that's not fun. So I don't know what they do with that. Bears winning out. If the Bears can win next Sunday, I think that they could win out, because we'll see where the Lions are. The Lions might not be playing for anything. But yeah, that's going to be a tough game against the 49ers. Seahawks, I could see them dropping it against the 49ers. So we'll see what happens with the Panthers, though. Panthers had a big win. So Seahawks, I feel like they have it all in front of them, man. Like, if they win out, they just have a tough schedule. The Panthers and the 49ers are not an easy road to get the number 1 seed. So I still think, they're obviously a playoff team because they already clinched, but I don't know how many teams are going to want to play them. I think their weak point can be Sam Darnold at times is not great, or they can't get their run game going, but their defense is usually pretty damn good. So their defensive front is excellent. So yeah, I just feel like they're a flawed team, but they're a good team. But that's every single team in the postseason right now. So I think.
The one team in the AFC right now that doesn't appear to have a flaw is the
Jaguars.
Because even the Patriots, who, Drake Maye led a come from behind victory in the fourth quarter over the Ravens last night. He played really well when the Patriots needed him to. They have an issue right now stopping the run. So Derrick Henry had over 100 yards, I think 2 touchdowns. I thought that was going to be the difference for the Ravens.
Yeah, the fumble early because they went away from him for a while.
Flowers fumbled too on the last drive of the game where the Ravens had any chance.
So that was honestly just a great defensive play because Zay is trying to avoid the defender in front of him, and he doesn't even see the guy behind him. He just
but he's carrying the ball like an asshole too.
Well, Zay Flowers has fumbled the ball at times. But yeah, Henry was running really well in the beginning, and then he fumbled the ball. And so then they started rocking with Mitchell, and then they started utilizing Henry again in the second half. But yeah, I'm very curious what you think. So Drake Maye has a 300-yard game, right? They come back and they wind up winning after being down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. The Ravens are holding on to their playoff lives. Lamar is hurt. We'll see what the extent of that is, but he obviously didn't return to that game. Where are you, 1, on the Ravens, but 2, I'm very curious how you feel about Harbaugh, because this has now been a conversation amongst Ravens fans for a few seasons of like not getting over the hump. And this year it feels like they have, I know they dealt with a lot of injuries, but they have just not put it together. Like there are times where their defense is playing incredibly well and you're like, oh man, that defense has finally stepped up. Then their offense is, but it just feels like the complementary football has not been there all season.
Yeah, I think we got to flip-flop Tomlin and Harbaugh and see what happens.
Yeah.
Give the Steelers Harbaugh. Ravens get Tomlin for 1 year. And let's see.
And just see what happens. I like this idea.
Yeah.
I do. Hey.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what's going on with the Ravens. Lamar leaves the game with what they're calling a back bruise.
Yeah.
There's a good chance he'll play this weekend, and Tyler Huntley, like Malik Willis, came in and he was fine. He was 9 to 10 passing for 65 yards, so he didn't do anything stupid. They just their defense let him down. And Drake Maye, I think, in terms of making his case for MVP, this was a great game to do it, specifically on a week where, the Rams lost, even though Stafford played his ass off in that game.
Yeah. I think his last week Maye didn't look good. And I will be honest with you, there were some throws that Maye did not look great in this game last night. However, then there was like some incredible throws that he made. And dude, you want to talk about pass interference BS? I truly do not know how that is not called pass. So the one that goes to Booty at the very end, where he just, thankfully it wound up not mattering because they wound up scoring a touchdown anyway. But he lobs it up there. And the Ravens defender literally like pulls him down, like by his legs, and there's no flag. And that's the one that he got hurt on too.
Well, he frisked him. He gave him he frisked him on the way down. I think you can do that.
You have a great birthday.
You want to make sure Booty's not hiding any weapons. So he gave him a little frisk.
He's the TSA now?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was wild, but
hey, the Panthers could be 3-0. They beat the Seattle Seahawks. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, Drake Maye, Caleb Williams, they made plays when their teams needed to this week.
Yeah. The Falcons, they wound up winning. That was actually a really close game in the first half. And then the Cardinals didn't do diddly squat in that second half. I don't know how much you saw of that game. Algier was their leading rusher.
I haven't watched a single highlight from that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad times for the Cardinals. They have a lot of figuring out to do in the offseason. And for the Falcons, they're now 6-9. Not nice, but they're another team. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be another coach in the NFC South again. I would imagine Raheem Morris is gone.
He's on the hot seat.
Sir Mike, I would imagine so. Or they'll have like caveats about like how you can call guys up, via the practice squad or something. There'll be some roster changes, especially if they add more games.
Yeah. Go up to 60-man roster. Just do it.
Glad you had a good birthday. Tonight's game. This actually I think this is going to be a pretty solid football game. I'm excited to see this one. It's our penultimate regular season Monday Night Football matchup. So being played in Indy. Jonathan Taylor, CMC. What do you got?
Woo!
What do you got? Did you pick the 49ers?
Come on, Philly Rivers. Give us some magic.
It'd be fun. Yeah, the Colts wind up losing. They put the Texans into the playoffs. Hold on, what three teams?
The Texans, the Jags. Well, the Jags are going to be in.
Yeah,
I think the Jags. Do the Jags get a playoff spot secured?
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm looking up the scenarios right now. Please hold. Your call is very important to us.
And maybe even the Bills too.
I literally was looking at this a gajillion times.
I think three teams get in if they lose, if I remember right.
Yes. So Bills get in if Indianapolis loses. Patriots are already in. Jacksonville gets in, and the Chargers get in.
The Chargers.
Back to back.
Wow.
So a lot of AFC teams could be 49ers.
Rivers could get the Chargers into the playoffs with a loss? What world are we living in, Tom?
It writes itself.
Oh, no, Philly.
It does. Oh, no. Yankees. Yeah, the compression rate was terrible that they uploaded on YouTube, but that's besides the point. It'll be good. It'll be solid. You got the 49ers winning, though? Or you picked Philly?
I forget who I picked.
Oh, Philly. Phillip Rivers.
I bet on Rivs. Let's see. I picked the Niners, I guess. Yeah, I picked them. I'm hoping Rivs gets the win, though.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
T-Law MVP? Maybe. That'd be great. T-Law comes out of nowhere. I mean, dude, he's on this 4-game stretch of just like his life right now.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll get an MVP nod, but I think Stafford's got it pretty much, unless he just completely sucks these last 2 weeks. So, hey man, listen, to go to 3 Super Bowls in a row, it's bound to come down at some point. I'm very curious what the Chiefs are going to do in this offseason.
Yeah, it's an important offseason for them.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Let's listen.
And they're going to have a solid draft pick, so.
Truth is out there. The truth is out there. Perna, what do you got coming out?
I did the Broncos recap already. You can check that out. The new I forgot what a new worst game feels like. So that is live.
What I know, James, is that when Ben Johnson got the Chicago gig in his press conference, he said that he enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. And so that's where like that came from. And that's as far as I know. I think fans and media have taken it and amplified that. But yeah, dude, I'd love to see a Bears Packers rematch. Let's see it.
Jess said I look like Matt LaFleur when I had the Packers game on.
You looked like Matt LaFleur?
I was like,
that's a great compliment.
Thank you for the compliment, but I think you're reaching there, Jess.
Yeah.
I was like, he is known as a handsome man.
Oh.
She's like, really?
They went in, took care of business. They're looking good. They have a plan for the tight end position. Yeah, Fitzpatrick, he has a torn Achilles. He's out for the year. That was a brutal injury to watch, man. He was trying to limp off the field and had to get carted off. So I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they're just going to sign Mercedes Lewis. Get the big dog because you waived him, right?
Did we?
I thought he's not on your team anymore. Or he's on your P squad. It's one of them. Pick him up.
They were activating him on and off.
Bring him home.
I think he's still with us.
Is he? He is
now on the Broncos practice squad.
Actually, he's a P squad, so he couldn't get claimed. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Kyle, it's way too early. It's way too early to say that this wide receiver class is under or overrated. But yeah, this was a tough one. Dude, the Keon Coleman one, that's the one I'm most concerned about for the Bills because they drafted a first round wide receiver being like, this guy is going to make a huge impact. And it has not gone that way. So yeah,
hasn't panned out.
If they miss the playoffs, I'm curious. I'm very, very curious how they're going to handle that. So yeah, no, their run defense was not good last night. It was not. I'm sorry, Perna. So you already had something come out? Nothing today? The rest of the day?
Yeah. Let's go watch the Broncos recap, baby.
That's it. That AFC North doesn't fire their folks. And that's Steelers fans and Ravens fans will tell you.
For better or for worse.
Make money. Woo. Thank you. Today, of course, we'll be streaming Monday Night Football. Every NFL fan's reaction to Week 16 will be coming out after that. I'm going to try and get a skit out today. I don't know if I can. I'll be successful. Perna, we're not doing a show on Christmas Eve, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we will be back on
Friday.
But Perna, aren't you doing a fundraising stream on Thursday?
Thursday night, Broncos Chiefs, our charity fundraiser for solving kids' cancer.
Cam, so happy birthday.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm 40.
You're 30, but what's the biggest difference between being 30 and 40, Perna?
Just my wealth of knowledge that I've accumulated in the last 10 years.
How humble you've become too.
Yes, I have a great perspective on life.
Yeah. I mean, no one wants to see that. Nobody wants to. I mean, adding the extra game. I mean, this season has been a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but if they add another game, we're gonna have a lot of pointless football. At the end of the season, and just guys can't stay healthy. Yeah. So that's it, Jax. But folks, we appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful holiday season. If we don't see you, Phillip Rivers, will he remain undefeated against the 49ers tonight? We're about to see. And I think that's why Harbaugh could be in trouble, because the fact that they go away from Derrick Henry, I know that he fumbled, but
I don't give a fuck. Derrick Henry could fumble 3 times in a football game, and I'm still feeding him.
What was that? The first 3 weeks he kept fumbling every single game.
It was back-to-back games. Yeah, it was the Buffalo game, week 1, right? Yep. Bad fumble.
But hey, we're here. I'll see you tonight. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated. That's how I drive.
And you reached your destination.